It's everywhere. It's all around us. And no matter how much we try to stop it from getting in, it gets in. And it gets right in your face. What am I talking about? Consumerism. It's everywhere. Although I hate to assume, I can say it's probably safe to assume. My median audience age is not going to be 10, 12 years old. A random teenager might accidentally stumble across my channel, but other than that, I don't have children watching this content. I have it specifically marked that this is not kid-friendly content. I have a potty mouth. I talk about things that they don't even want to hear about. I bring this up because I want you, the viewer, to think back to when you were 9 or 10 years old. Me personally, I was in, third, fourth grade. What did you want for your birthday? Think about it. The big thing was Taz, like the Tasmanian Devil was like a big thing in my school. This specific kind of backpack, headphones. I'm just trying to think of random things that I got when I was that age, and it was mostly toys or, age-appropriate toys. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't playing with... Was I playing? I might have been playing... I don't know. I was a weird kid. Legos. I had a lot of Legos. I played with Tinker Toys and Legos like they were going out of style. These kids today, what are they called? Gen Alpha? We're already on to Gen Alpha. Me, I identify as a Zennial. Things make sense from Gen X, and a couple of things make sense from millennials, but I'm not a fully fledged millennial because I didn't grow up with technology, really. We didn't get a computer until I was 11 or 12, and at that, we didn't get the internet until I was a sophomore in high school. So, yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm in that micro generation called Zennial. I know I have millennials watching, and I know I have probably no Gen Zers. But right after the Gen Zers comes these Generation Alpha. And what they want for their birthday vastly differs from what someone like me wanted for my birthday when I was 9 or 10 years old. And while I find their wish list to be indubitably outrageous, no other way to put it, I don't blame the kids. I don't blame the kids at all because they are a product of their environment and what they are exposed to. And what are these kids being exposed to? Well, some are calling them the iPad kids or the YouTube educated, or parents just put the babies in front of the TV and call it a day. What are they being exposed to? Think about it. Consumerism. They're being exposed to commercials. They're being exposed to products that are specifically aimed at them so that they take this in while they're learning their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. They're also learning about this toy or this video game or some, I don't know, pick something. I'm not really watching TV this lately anymore, but no, I don't blame the kids for these outrageous wish lists because it's what they are taking in. I've made it pretty clear that this video, this whole channel is made up of my opinions. And while I don't have any children, I'm not a parent, I did go to school for education to teach young minds, help them learn music. I can't tell you how many educational psychology courses or young development courses or anything like that I had to take, but I do know a little bit about how the child's mind works and how they are malleable as clay. And I see things out in the wild that make my skin crawl. I can't understand how parents have lost the ability to say no. Where did it start and when is it going to end? It's a sad state of affairs when parents are afraid to parent. This isn't really a global thing either. This is a fairly American problem, because all it takes is one anonymous call to DIFUS or social services, and a parent is investigated. And how does that look? How does that make the parent feel? It's like, if you say no to your child, no, you can't have this, they're gonna call somebody. You run the risk of this child calling somebody and saying, my mom was mean to me, my mom yelled at me. I mean, kids will even lie when they're angry about not getting what they want and say, my parent raised a hand to me. I'm not the authority on anything I'm talking about here. My opinion is not the end-all be-all. It's just the way I see it and the way I call things. That's all. Anyway, I have fallen victim to the corporate machine called consumerism. This whole room is a testament to how far I fell to consumerism. It happens. I mean, I didn't buy anything that was age inappropriate. I did a little excess, maybe a lot of excess, and for that I am definitely paying it now. But just even think about an Apple Watch. Do you really need an Apple Watch? No, but it makes life easier. It adds convenience, doesn't it? Again, this is age appropriate. These kids, they're calling them the Sephora kids now. These preteens, tweens, 5-year-olds. I don't know. Let's just stick with the whole Sephora kids, 10-year-olds. They go into Sephora and they demand products from companies I didn't even know existed until I was in my late 30s. Sunday Riley, Drunk Elephant, Glow Recipe, Rare Beauty, all of this stuff that there's no commercials. There's no print ads. And they're going in and demanding these things. Why? How did they find out about them? And this goes right back into my questioning of parenting. If there's no print ads and there's no TV ads, and we know nobody's barely listening to the radio anymore, how are these kids finding out about it? Social media. You know, the thing that kids aren't really supposed to be on until they're 13 or older, which I still think that the age should be raised. Thankfully, I grew up in a time before social media, and I am very grateful for that. I wish these kids didn't have to deal with social media growing up. It's terrible. Young girls, women as a whole, but young girls especially, have so much weight on their shoulders to look a certain way, be a certain way, act a certain way. They're being robbed of their childhood. They're not allowed to be children anymore. So much is expected of them. I mean, I was lucky if I got chapstick at that age. Never mind a Rare Beauty lip stain. Really? But this whole social media thing, and this is where some of these kids, I feel bad for, because it's their parents not parenting. There's 10-year-olds on TikTok making videos of their nightly routine, of their skincare routine, with their mother standing right behind them. And they get around the age limit by calling it mommy run. This mommy runs this account. Okay, so now you look even worse standing behind your child while they're putting all these things on their skin that don't belong on their skin. I mean, think about it for a second. Think about the ingredients that are in some of these products that are made for older skin, mature skin. AHAs, BHAs, PHAs, retinols, retinoids, tretinoin, vitamin C. None of that belongs on young skin. They're doing more damage than anything. They're going to have a problem growing up because their skin... Trust me when I say that they're going to have problems going forward. You shouldn't be looking at anti-aging until there's a viewing of aging. Never mind that nobody is allowed to age gracefully in this country. Yes, myself included here. I'm all about, oh God, I found another wrinkle, I found this, oh I don't have these bags, I don't have blah 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 blah, picking myself apart. I'm just as guilty. there's no denying that. But that's my choice as an adult. I didn't get into this stuff until I was 38 years old. It's not like I've been doing this since I was 10. Circling back to social media, these parents are allowing their children, their young children, to absorb everything they see on social media. They death scroll on TikTok, and what are they viewing? What are they consuming? Makeup, skincare, things meant for older people, and they think they have to do it themselves. And it's heartbreaking. I watched a video of this woman who works at Sephora who had to go and deal with these two kids. They had to be maybe 10 and 12 years old. They were with their mother, and they had a basket full of stuff, full of full coverage foundation, full of lip stains, the drunk elephant. They're all going for the drunk elephant skincare. And this girl goes up to the register with the basket and says, oh, I believe she said she had 2 perfumes on hold. Those 2 perfumes alone were $300. When the woman was done checking everything in the basket, it came up to almost $900. I mean, even on my worst shopping day, I didn't spend $900. And I have adult money. had adult money. But this kid doesn't have that kind of money. Where is it coming from? It's coming from mommy, because 1 register down, or was it 2 registers down, her sister was checking out and her basket was $500. Mommy paid for it. Then mommy comes over to this little girl and says, $900, no, you have to take something out. And the girl threw a fucking shit fit in the store, and snotty ass attitude, giving all kinds of sass, talking back to her mother. Let me tell you something. If I spoke to my mother the way these kids are speaking to their parents, there would be no tomorrow. Let's be honest. And I get it. I get there is some credence to each generation responding differently to the previous. This happens. I know the way that I spoke to my mother would have shocked my grandparents, that kind of thing. But there's a difference between talking back and acting the way that these kids... I'm trying to put it into words. I'm having a problem putting it into words. It's disrespectful. There is no respect. But if they're not taught how to respect, maybe they're not being shown respect at the same way. It's very convoluted. Anyway, back to this story. The mom's like, you got to put something back. So she takes 2 or 3 things out of her basket and says, I'm not taking anything else out. Oh, excuse me, little one. And so then the woman at the register was like, well, you have 3 of these, whatever company lip products. And the girl goes, yeah, I know. What do you need 3 for? Like, come on. I don't necessarily remember how this story ended, but I'm pretty sure that the girl walked out of the store with most of what she wanted. I mean, damn. I bought one thing from Drunk Elephant, and that was before they were canceled. Apparently they're not canceled anymore, but I believe the whole cancellation, which I'm against cancel culture, don't get me started, was because they have this suspicious six ingredients that they think are bad, but it turns out that not all of them are. Like, they're calling essential oils, silicones, fragrances. Not all of that is, I mean, I'm not a dermatologist, but to my understanding, these things aren't going to kill you. Anyway, so this is the box. The kit is called the Littles. Isn't this cute? Wait, why is it so cute? Who is this being marketed to exactly? And that's something I want to bring up. Yes, the parents need to be held responsible and need to learn how to put their foot down and say no to their kids, because the kids can't get everything they want all the time. But this handy little jelly bag that everything came in, when I bought it, I got it on some kind of discount with points or whatever from Sephora, but it says the recommended retail price is $75 and it's worth $108 for these little things. But look at this. Who is this marketed to? And that brings up the whole corporate responsibility, which we know is a farce. What should happen is that companies like Drunk Elephant should be getting out there and saying, no, kids shouldn't be using this stuff. It's not meant for young skin. Well, apparently they put something out on their Instagram that said, yes, some products are okay for the children's skin. And I'm just like shaking my head over here. No, you need to tell these kids they need to stop buying your products because it's not appropriate. But are they going to do that? Would they really do that? No, because they found a new stream of revenue, a new demographic to sell to. Are they going to choose responsibility or more money in their pockets? So there goes that. There goes their opportunity to make good on a bad situation. That won't happen. And another thing that they're doing, that they're promoting, which just made my eyes bug out, is they're calling it smoothieing. Mixing all of their products together to make a skin smoothie. I've seen pictures and videos of people going through the Drunk Elephant area in Sephora and just looking like some animal attacked it. These kids are squeezing the testers out all over the place. They're using this, there's this one canister. If you squeeze it down, the product comes out of the top. Like, squeeze it and it comes out the top instead of, squeezing it into your hand. And they're just putting all sorts of different products on top of this canister. Like, it's a mess. It's disgusting. It looks like a war zone. And it's, how are the associates supposed to keep up with this when these kids are constantly coming in doing these things? And here's the point that a dermatologist, I forget her name. If I remember, I'll try to put it in. But not only that, the Walsh twin that does the skincare, and then I believe Cassandra Bankson, don't quote me, I may be wrong there. When you make a smoothie out of your skincare, there is no way to guarantee even product distribution. Now, why is that a problem? Well, on a regular person, it could be a problem because it could cause, inflammation or a spot in one place or something. It's just discombobulated. It's not absorbing properly. Now, put that on a child's skin. All of these acids and things going on and not being equally spread around, which they shouldn't be on anyway. But let's say it's clumped up one place, a couple places, and it's not going in. They could have, it could go as far as like a burn. Not saying I don't think that's happened and I don't want that to happen, but there is no way to guarantee uniform distribution of product if you just mix it up in your hands or mix it up on a canister top. Now, I thought back to when I did that Guerlain skincare for a week, and I had the packet where I had to squeeze it so the two products combined. That was a little bit different because they were both serums, and one was part emollient and the other one was actives, and it had to be mixed together, but I mixed it very well in my hands. So that kind of comes into play when I'm thinking about this, going, well, Guerlain did it. Does it make it right? Now, to follow up this young consumerism mess with Sephora, another product comes to mind. I don't know when this fiasco started, maybe last summer. Everyone was rushing to get one, trying to find deals on Amazon, and just, last week, the Valentine version of this product came out and women were being trampled to get it. I'm talking about the Stanley Cup mug, whatever you want to call it. No, not the NHL Stanley Cup. The Stanley Quencher. I don't understand why. There's 1,000,001 different cups out there that could outperform it. Frankly, somebody gifted me a coldest chugger, I don't know what to call it, and I like it better than the Stanleys. I don't have a Stanley, but I've read reviews and a lot of people say don't turn it upside down because it'll spill. My coldest doesn't spill. I mean, again, flashy consumerism. Look at me. I'm a name. I'm colors. I'm this. I'm that. People were literally being trampled in Target, and I hate the overuse of the word literally, but this applies. They were literally being trampled in Target to get these freaking Valentine's colored Stanley cups. And they were limited to 5 per person, and you see these people got like, why? What are they gonna do? Sit on a shelf in your cabinet? Like, I don't get it. Could someone please explain this to me, please? I don't understand. I don't understand the draw. Is it because it's fashionable right now? And I mean, I saw what was on the news. Some girl opened her, I don't know, was it the news or was it on Instagram? On a reel? I don't know. I saw some mother making this tearful video about how her daughter was so happy to get a Stanley Cup for Christmas, and she said, "Thank you, Mommy. Now the kids won't make fun of me." She didn't ask for a Stanley Cup because she wanted a Stanley Cup. She asked for a Stanley Cup so she could fit in. What's so fun about fitting in? I never did. I turned out all right. That's sad. That's really sad. Thank you for getting me the Stanley Cup so I won't be made fun of anymore. This is the world we're living in. I hate society. Society sucks. And yes, I realize I'm a part of society. We all are. Well, it's something's got to give. Something's got to change because, like I'm saying, kids just got to be kids. That's all I'm trying to get at. Kids need to be kids, parents need to be parents, and corporations need to be responsible. Unfortunately, I don't see any of this happening anytime soon. After all this bloviating for how long I've been doing this, 20 minutes, I think this is a good place to stop because I could continue and I don't frankly want to. If you've made it to the end, congratulations. If you feel like debating me in the comments, go for it. While you're at it, leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to drink your H2O, slather that SPF on your face, and have the day that you deserve, which I hope is fabulous. Bye!